should be finishing this mesocycle in a few weeks, so let's get on to the fifth vulnerability. Okay, we're looking for the inside wrist grip from the triangle trap. So again, nothing's really changed. The card has rib cage control. I'll be swimming my hands inside, pulling with my knees to break his posture. This time my hand's coming up over the back of the head. I will shrimp onto my side, very much like the side scissor position that we looked at on week 1 of this mesocycle. I recross my guard, but it's crossed with Carl's left hip. The side scissor position was his arm was there, and we looked at getting to the back and hitting the pursuit. Does that make sense? And this time his arm's here, right? And I just have a grip over the lapel here. So it's all about inside grip position. And in this scenario, when I have when I've broke Carl's posture, I've got his hands on the mat, and personally I would look about the more sensible things he should be doing. So I cut an angle, I make my grip. Now if I just get into the inside wrist grip position here, and my wrist is straight, in other words, it's like this. Okay? If I try to hold this out to bring my leg inside to get into the triangle trap, what's going to happen is Carl will re-pummel in every single time he comes in. So we're here. So the best way for Carl to get in is to bring his thumb inside, if that makes sense. Danaher's little gem detail is I make the same grip, but instead of grabbing with my wrist straight, I grab and there's a 90-degree bend between my wrist and my arm, which is this position here. If you think about it now, my thumb is above Carl's thumb. So when he tries to turn inside with that grip, it's a lot more harder. Now it's not impossible. You still get people to be able to do it, but in that struggle, I'm bringing my leg through, and we're into the triangle trap. This is a very strong position. You think about if I tried to break posture from close guard, and my legs are around his hips, it's difficult. Even when I remove frames, it's difficult. But anytime I get into the triangle trap, and I'm here, and now my control instead of around his hips is around his shoulder and head, posture, bro, it's significantly easier for me to break posture because my legs are clamped in this position. And obviously from there, our number 1 attack is the triangle choke. So let's take it back. So from our position, let's just say Carl is ski grips this time. Nothing's really changed. I find the cross grip, I come underneath, I pull with my legs, and my goal obviously in this scenario is to get Carl's hands to the mat, cut an angle, reclose my guard as in the side scissor position, so they're not closed in the middle of his back, but more over his left hip, and then I get that inside wrist position. For the sake of this drill, he's going to have his hand on the mat. And then we're going to concentrate on, rather than keeping our wrist straight, as in this scenario, we're going to turn it like this. Right? My thumb is over Carl's thumb. And in the battle, if you think about it now, Carl's elbow is away from his body. This is going to allow me precious seconds as he fights to get it back. There's only one way he can get it back. If he tries to swim his hand inside, it's difficult. But if he rips it straight back this way, I have the triangle trap. Does that make sense? So either he's going to rip it back that way, or he's going to be trying to swim inside, and in the whole battle, I'm bringing my leg through to the triangle trap. Again, we looked at a few classes back how the Khmer is there as well, and we looked at that detail of covering the wrist with my arm, with my legs are. And now I can use leg pressure to finish that as well. See the way the wrist is at the back of my knee? I can use that. Or, for anyone that's into our triangle, I'm not going to go into details of this, there's a video on it. I'll get head control, I want to get a perpendicular angle, so I underhook the leg. When I kick out and invert, I want my right knee facing the mat below his ear. And then from there, I don't want to shoulder inside the triangle. So I bring the inside of my left knee over his shoulder, then I find the shin, and I have unified legs, okay? Which means they're pointing in the same direction. If you've got a tight triangle, you should be able to finish it without locking it, and it's just that, because it's just connection. So when I do lock it, it's going to be super tight. So again, rib cage control. I get his hands on the mat, I cut an angle, but it's not the clamp was that. My guard's still down low, controlling his lower body, but I have angular advantage. Then it's all about the battle for this wrist. So when I find it, I make sure I keep a 90-degree bend in my wrist, that's the detail. And now my goal is, in the battle for him to remove that open elbow, I'm going to bring this foot through. If it's a flexibility thing, I'll uncross, I can bring this leg up as high as I can into his lat. I can use that to move my body back, and then I'll bring my foot through into the triangle trap. You know, if you're not used to this position, you know, stay in it a while, see what crowd's going to move around from there. Be controlling the head, and when the moment's right, I'll be looking. Okay, so